Hello everybody, this is Linda Hicks with Scrap Stars Paper Crafting, and welcome again to my craft room. Today I'm going to be working on a layout because this is Sunday and I like to do a scrap fun Sunday. So we are going to be using this gorgeous paper. It's called Take Flight, and it's got like these old airplanes and clouds, and it's double-sided, so you got this geo look on this side, and these are all the different papers that you get with it. I mean, you get clouds, you get this really cool, another like one with geography on it, a plain one. I love it because it has enough plain in it that you can use the back sides for something else, but yet it has these wonderful planes. So let's get started with the layout. My daughter took my son-in-law took my granddaughter to the air zoo that's by our area, and I wanted to get some pictures taken of her, and they did take some pictures. And so I'm going to be making a layout using, I think, these pieces of paper right here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece of paper. I love these planes at 4 inches. And love how smooth. Did I even cut through it? Nope. I started it, I didn't cut through it, so let's try again. Okay. Love how smooth my blade feels. I can't even tell if I'm cutting or not. All right, so this is great because now I have 2 of these pieces like this. So I'm going to go ahead and use this on this side, and this is 4 inches by 12. These papers are 12 by 12, and so now I'm going to use an 8-inch piece. So let me get my arm out so I can measure it correctly, because 8 and 4 make 12. And I'm going to use, I could have used this whole sheet, but I want to save a little bit of this paper to make other things. So I'm going to just use a plain white cardstock and put this on my cardstock, just so that I have extra designer paper for future. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the 8. I'm going to cut this at 8 by 12. And now I have this little 4 inch by 12 piece that I'm going to save. So let's go ahead and get this started here. I think I'll work right here. There we go. All right, so I'm just lining up my white paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my adhesive. And go ahead and sit down. So, ooh, and see, isn't this pretty too? I love both sides of this paper. It's going to be hard that's the hardest part, is deciding what you want. But I really wanted these planes. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here like so. And you know, this bottom page could even be a scrap or something too. It's just, you need a nice smooth surface piece for your layout. And it looks like my white piece is a little bit over. So, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do adhesive on this side. Remember, this was the 8 by 12, and I'm just going to line it right up along the side here. I'll put it like that. All right, I'm going to line this up just a little. Make sure I got it lined up really good. All right, press it down. All right, good job. Bring this over. Looks like I have a little bit of a fake border here, which makes me wonder if my cutting was off a little bit. So I'm just going to trim that white border on here. This looks like this is just a little bit big, but I think I'll wait until the end so that I can get all my pieces on here nicely. Well, maybe I'll go ahead and trim it now just because it's going to annoy me. So I'm going to go ahead and take this here and I'm going to line this up like right there. Make sure these are lined up correctly. Okay. And I'm just going to take that little bit of extra white off the side so that it lines up nicely. Okay. So now I'm going to start building my page. And I already mounted my pictures only because they were all, these are normal pictures. I'm sorry, I had to cover my granddaughter's face, even she's so gorgeous, but my daughter does not want her face being put on Facebook or in any social media. So this is, I had to cover it up. So anyway, I went ahead and mounted these. This is, the blue piece is a 1/4 inch bigger. So this is a 4x6 photo. The blue piece I cut at 4 1/4 this way and 6 1/4 this way. And then I wanted a little bit more matting. I wanted the white just to pop it a little bit more. So I just cut this by like 1/8 of an inch smaller, the white piece. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these like right here. Just doesn't look as good without having her pretty little face on there. Okay, so I'm gonna put it, I think I'm gonna angle them kind of like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and I cut out my title from the Cricut. And I have Air Zoo. Hope I have Air Zoo here. So let's see, I wanna see where my title, I'm gonna kind of line up my title. So I think I'm gonna line this up so that it's even here. And we'll have Air. Of course, it looks like I lost some of my pieces. I hope not, but there we go. Got Air. No, I have them all. Air Zoo. Okay, so I'm gonna line this up. I just like to line things up to make sure things are gonna fit on there, that pieces that I want to be part of it, and then I can go ahead and glue them down. And that's just to make sure that I have room and it looks good before I make the commitment of actually putting it down. So here is my little dot for my eye. So that looks pretty good. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and center this title first and put it on there. And I've got plenty of room for my pictures here, it looks like. So I am gonna go ahead and use some liquid glue. And this is called Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. It's a multi-purpose glue, and it's a little forgiving, and it dries clear, and you don't need a whole lot. So I'm just gonna put a tiny little bit on there. And if you have a different way of doing this, go for it. I'm just gonna line it up. The nice thing with these lines too is like I can line this up with these lines, and that helps a lot too. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm so sorry, I know this takes a long time to do titles, but it is part of scrapbooking, so anyway, we'll get that on there. I need to do a fast forward speed, so on my videos, but I'm just learning how to do videos, and this is all kind of new for me, and so I'm just going doing the best I can. So now I can even this out a little bit. See how that's crooked, but because this glue doesn't dry immediately, it gives me a little bit of room where I can kind of adjust it a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust that there. Looks like I need just a tad bit of glue right on that bottom. There we go. And now I lost my little circle somewhere for the dot, but we know I had it, so it's gotta be here somewhere. Okay, so here I'm gonna put a little more glue here on the Z. And we're gonna give this a little space. And I wanna put my picture here so that I can kind of line it up nicely. With my sticky fingers, it does not work too well, but okay, so that looks good. Oh, look at where I found my, I found my eye. It stuck to my finger. Okay, that's the one bad thing about working with glue is things get stuck everywhere. Oh dear. I'm so glad I found it though. Have you ever had that happen where you had stuff? I've had like stickers and stuff stuck to my clothes and I've been looking for them all over the place and I can't find them, and then I'll get ready to go to bed and there's that sticker on my clothes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple, get this zoo done. I'm like the slowest gluer, but I want this nice and straight. And I got a lot of glue on this, so I'm gonna share the glue. All right, so there we go. We got this one here and this one here. And I'm gonna definitely wipe my fingers off now because I am all glued up. Okay, where's my little wipe? My chamois. Okay, now I got the hardest part on there, and that's the title. Yay! It doesn't take long to get the adhesive and stuff on there, but it does take forever to get that on the title straight and making sure it's straight and looking good. That could come down just a tad. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue my airplane together. I cut this out. This was part of a stamp set called Adventurous Sky, and it has a die cut. You can get the die cut or the stamp set separate. Let me show you the die cut too. It has all these airplanes and clouds and all kinds of little things, and I just thought it would be nice little accents for everything. So here is the die, and I love this. It has these clouds, which I know I'll use for lots of different things. This is a little tiny airplane. It's got a bigger airplane, like an old-fashioned two-wing airplane, and then this is your engine. So I went ahead and cut out a navy one like this, and then I used some silver paper that I had, just a scrap that I had in my stash, and cut out the body and the propellers. So cool. I just love it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this or glue this down. So I'm going to go ahead and use this glue with this just to make sure it's secure. There we go. Get our gluing done and everything's going to go fast now. This was the, okay, and then I'm going to do is just line this up. It's like, it has like this is an overlay to the back, which I think is so pretty. Love that. So line this up. I've got my glue, so it can shift a little bit. So I can get it lined up perfect. Well, this might take a minute for it to set. There we go. And my fingers are sticky again. I'm just going to keep this cloth right behind me. And so in one of the pictures, this one has three propellers, but one of the pictures they only had two propeller, or like just one propeller on it. So of her pictures that she was at. So I'm just going to add one little propeller on this. It does cut out two for you. That glue to come out. Either it comes out really fast or not fast enough. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to kind of put this at an angle on that little circle like that. So it's kind of like that. All right, so that is all the gluing I have. Now I'm going to go ahead and line up my beautiful pictures and we'll get this put together. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this on here, and I'm going to center this first one like right here with the title. And That looks really good. And then press. And then I'm going to take the second one. Oh, it looks like I got a little bit of glue on it. Fortunately, it dries clear. And I'm going to put this one at an angle, I think like this way. And I think that's going to be good because what I'm going to do is I cut out from a circle die that I have, and I forget the name of this circle die. It comes with, you can get it with a stamp set or you can get it as a standalone. It comes with all of these circles. And they have different things. They have eyelets, they have dash and dots, and then they've got this ribbed border. And you've got two sets because they intertwine with each other. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because I use the dashes and see how it fits inside of each other like that. So, so they have three different styles, but you can fit them in each other. So it's really pretty cool. And I just got that. I've been playing with that too. This all came as a thing together. So this is what I'm going to use for my journaling. So I'm going to go ahead and just, you can tell I use this was a scrap piece of paper because I like to use up all my scraps if I can. And so I'm going to use this for some journaling. So I'm going to kind of tuck this under a little ways, but I'm going to even it out. So I haven't about like that. So that's kind of even. And then I can put the date and her first trip to the air zoo and just a few little journaling notes here. So now I'm going to go ahead and commit to this. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue my airplane down. And I could even actually, if I wanted to, take some dimensionals and put on this just to give it a little more texture. But I'm going to have my airplane just like it's all these flying airplanes. I'm going to have it flying right off the page right into this. So isn't that pretty? Okay, so this is page 1. And so I'm going to have some journaling here. I'm going to move this page over here. And now I already have my 4 by 12, and we'll grab a white sheet here, and I'm going to put this here. So this is 8 by 12, and then these are all my pictures that I'm going to put together. And this is a 4 by 12. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere these. And I even love this side too with all these cool old airplanes. Just kind of neat. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this on here. And I'm going to just line this up. I think that'll look really pretty good. I want to make sure I line up there we go. That looks good. I want to make, what I'm doing is I'm making sure, because this is a grid, I want to make sure that when I have my papers together, that the grid is lined up nicely. So that was what I was doing, just to make sure that everything was lined up very nicely with my papers. Okay, and then I'm going to put this, so a simple, very simple layout, and you could do your pictures any which way that you wanted. I had some wacky shapes with my pictures, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. My daughter takes pictures on her phone like most of us, and when I went to print them, I was missing part of the picture, so I ended up printing them myself and making them a little larger so I could cut them down to be what I wanted them to be. All right, so this is, I'm gonna go over this a little bit. There we go. So that is like there. Okay. And we'll press that down. So these are my 2 base sheets, pretty easy. 4 by 12, and then matching piece of paper at 8 by 12, and you could kind of do whatever you want to do with it. Now, the reason why I went with this easier pattern was because these pictures, they're not a true 3 by 4. They're more like a 3. So but you could say they were 3 by 4. And see, here's the one with just the one propeller. So I thought that matched that really well. And so, okay, so I think I'm gonna do 2 here, like so, and have this sheet. They even had an astronaut, and I think I had to cut off, maybe it's not cut off of this part, I probably covered it. It's from NASA space ship, and she got to sit inside and see the astronaut, and it was just kind of very cool. And then there was like, I don't know, is that, who is that? That's one of the superheroes. Iron Man. So pretty cool. It was a lot of fun for her to go visit these. So I already mounted these, and what I did was, whatever size my picture was, I just did the blue background in it, and I picked up the navy from like part of this. It had some dark blue in it, and so I just cut it 1/4 inch larger each way so that it made a nice little border. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and lay down my pictures where I like them. And balance is a really big thing when you're doing your layouts. So I'm trying to balance this to make it look really well. Because this is kind of an artistic, this is art, really. Okay, I'm out of adhesive there. Let's grab my other one here. Okay. And so I'm going to just kind of have this overlay here. I'm going to have 3 down here and then 2 up here, because I like having this showy paper show mostly. And then I'm just going to angle these up here. And then I got another one. I'm going to angle this like right here. This is super simple. I think you guys could easily use this design for really a lot of different ones. I'm hoping that's straight. I can't really tell with my sitting down, so I'm thinking it's straight. Okay, and so then this was one of the cards. Here, I'll show you on this piece of paper that came with the paper kit. It's one of these. It was this card, and what I did, because I wanted to have a journaling spot, I went ahead and cut part of this out, and then I'm backing it with the blue, and I use those die cuts again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere this here. I didn't even think about it, but I could have even used this side on here and journaled on that, but I chose white to journal on. So I'm just going to kind of center this. I couldn't get the whole card, which is okay, because I'm going to actually hide this under here like that, and it gives it balance for my design, because I have this here, and I like it because, and it has the airplanes that she was looking at with the, the propellers and the double layer. This one was a double layer. I couldn't get, she didn't take the picture where I could get the whole wing in there. So anyway, so there we go. So that is layout 2. That was pretty quick. Now the only thing left that I have to do is I've got some of these little, they're called industrial trinkets, and I'm just going to add a few of those. They're silver and they're cool. They look like, so I can add like a couple here, like a couple there, maybe one down here, maybe one right here, and then maybe a couple over here on there. So wherever you think. I like to do them in odd numbers, so I could have one up here sort of but I have the airplane, so I think I'm going to just leave that like right about there. So I think that looks really good. You want to always do odd numbers, so I'm like have 3 on this page, 2 on this page, but because it's a double page layout, I'm going to leave it at 5. I just think it looks better that way. I'm just going to play where I actually want them, but I think that actually looks pretty good. I think that's where I'm going to leave them. So thanks for joining me today. I hope this was a fun video for you and gave you some inspiration of how to use up your paper and make some beautiful scrapbook pages. So see you next Sunday.